isn't fantasy football, it's real competition. Welcome to the NFL Survivor Tournament. You versus the field. $100 to enter, $100,000 in total prizes, $50K to the winner. Start each week with a $100K bankroll. Pick games, win returns. Top 80% survive. Bottom 20%, you're out. Bankroll resets weekly, no carryover. 20 weeks, $100K. Will you take home the cash? Sign up, lock in, and let's see if you've got the guts to survive.
Sharp analysis, your cause, and Richmond always come first. If it's making headlines locally or nationally, we're breaking it down. Now,
I'll take my time to solve the beach.
Live from the capital of the Commonwealth, Fitz The Bill, with your host, Jack Fitzpatrick.
Good Tuesday, September 9th morning. Thank you for clocking in, getting your day started with us right here on Fitz The Bill. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. Allen alongside as we are live here from the Ortho Virginia studios in the capital of the Commonwealth. And last night we saw 3 horrible quarters of football from J.J. McCarthy, but 1 really good quarter of football from J.J. McCarthy. And I think J.J. McCarthy might be the real deal. And maybe I'm overreacting to 25% of his sample being very good, but the fact that he was able to overcome what the first 3 quarters were for him, what that first half was for him, and lead the Vikings on a 21-point fourth quarter to overcome that deficit and win the game, I think J.J. McCarthy might be the real deal. They started slow. The first 9 drives of the game included 6 punts and a pick 6 that appeared to be the early dagger for the Vikings, putting them in an 11-point hole in the third quarter. However, J.J. McCarthy made history en route to the Vikings' 27-24 win. J.J. McCarthy scored 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns, the first quarterback to ever do that in their NFL debut. Also became the first quarterback to overcome a deficit of at least 10 points in the fourth quarter since Hall of Famer Steve Young did that about 40 years ago. For McCarthy, as the game went along, he really did get better. Started rough, antsy in the pocket. It was a pocket that kept breaking down. They weren't giving him enough time. He didn't trust what was happening around him, didn't trust his offense, didn't trust really anyone except for Justin Jefferson. And at the end of the day, it culminated in the Bears defense scoring a touchdown before the Vikings offense could find the end zone after he threw that pick 6 to the former Viking. Then the fourth quarter came around. He settled in. He was threading the ball into tight windows. That first touchdown throw he had, he absolutely threw a bullet right down the middle into double coverage, but found the one small window that was open that allowed him to find that for a touchdown. He was comfortable in the pocket. That was unkind to him to start the game, and he ended up leading the Vikings to a come-from-behind win in his debut. Then on the other side, Caleb Williams, it seemed, was a bit of the opposite. Started red hot, then cooled off as the game went along. A good first drive, a good first half for the second-year signal caller. He started 10 for 10 on the night and got the Bears into the halftime break with a 10-6 lead. And things were looking peachy in his relationship debut with himself and new head coach Ben Johnson. However, there were some cracks under the surface. Williams was playing with some happy feet. His offensive line was giving him no time in the pocket. And even at the first glance of pressure, Williams was moved on to his check down and was bailing from the pockets. And as the game went along, Williams' inability or lack of desire to not want to throw deep and test the Vikings proved to be costly as he finished with just a shade under 8 yards in terms of his average depth of target, was doing a lot of checkdowns. And overall on the night, he did have the 11th worst adjusted EPA per play on the night. Williams lacked something in the game last time. Maybe it was protection, maybe it was confidence, but the lack of whatever it was ended up costing Chicago in a game they honestly could have and probably should have won. And J.J. McCarthy took advantage for it, and he kept with it, and he showed some true veteran resolve in last night's win. J.J. McCarthy leads the Vikings to a fourth quarter comeback, scoring 21 points in that final frame. All right, let's go out to the phone lines to start off today's show. 804-327-0888. You can call that number, you can text that number, and be part of the conversation today. Ivan starts us out on the phone lines. Good morning, Ivan. How we doing?
Fine, Jack. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Thanks for asking.
Good. Well, I want to say that J.J. McCarthy, I think if he can stay healthy, I don't think there's anything he can't do for the Vikings to finally win or get to a Super Bowl. If he can stay healthy and the whole team can stay healthy.
Woo! Some high praise there, Ivan. Already one game down, and we're saying Super Bowl with JJ.
I mean, the Bears defense melted like the Raven defense did on Sunday night when they allowed 15 points in the last 5 minutes of play.
True.
And you can't no matter who you are, your defense cannot allow the offense to take over and just let your opponents take over and take you out of the game because that really sucks the life out of every team.
That's the main goal of every defense out there. That's for sure.
You can't let up for anything. And I want to say this about Virginia Tech. I think I know the coach is doing the best he can, but I think the phone lines are going to be buzzing soon about rumors about who will be the next coach at Tech, unless he can pull a bunny rabbit out of his hat and bring home a winning season. Because when you allow your opponent to score 34 points in the second half, something is wrong somewhere on the team.
Yeah, and I mean, they allowed 307 yards in the second half. They only got 21 themselves. That was a meltdown of epic proportions on Saturday night.
Because I just think, Tech should putting up to try to get him to come to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I don't know if Shane Beamer would ever decide to come up to Virginia Tech. A lot of things would have to line up, but even then, I think he was in that new documentary on Netflix, and one of the first things he said was, "I didn't want to go to Virginia Tech because I want to be known as Shane Beamer, not Frank's son." So I think that kind of takes Virginia Tech off the table, even if the world aligns perfectly and it lets him potentially go there. I don't think he'd ever go to Virginia Tech.
No, I doubt that, seriously. I think he's happy at South Carolina because he finally got the team he wants there, and I think South Carolina, I don't know, I'm not going to say they're going to win the SEC, but they're going to be hurt from this season.
Yeah, they should have an opportunity. They've got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, and sometimes that's all you need.
Yep.
All right, Ivan, thank you so much for calling in. Have a great Tuesday.
You do the same, buddy.
All right, thank you. There goes Ivan. Always appreciate Ivan calling in. All right, let's update you with what you may have missed in the wide world of sports overnight.
This is your Fitz the Bill morning update. Getting you caught up on some of the biggest stories in sports.
All right, the 49ers can't catch an injury break. After being one of the most injured teams in 2024, they are now without George Kittle for a couple of weeks, as he has a hamstring injury. Kyle Shanahan also said that QB Brock Purdy has left shoulder and toe injuries, with the more serious one being the toe. His status for Sunday now against the Saints is up in the air. After being non-committal on Russell Wilson on Sunday, Brian Daboll stood by his QB1 yesterday, saying Russell Wilson will start the next game against the Dallas Cowboys. Tank Bigsby was traded yesterday from the Jaguars to the Eagles. Bigsby heads up to Philly in exchange for 2026 5th and 6th round picks, sources told Adam Schefter. The NFL fan who pushed DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Jackson Sunday night in Buffalo has been banned by the Bills and the NFL. After the game, Jackson said he let his emotions get the better of him, but his head coach said it was understandable. Quote, "We want our guys to celebrate with one another. That's the whole idea. I guess I didn't know you're not allowed to go close to the stands to do that without being attacked by a fan." Ahead of yesterday's game in Chicago at Soldier Field, Bears president and CEO Kevin Warren announced the team intends to build a new stadium in a move to Arlington Heights, a Chicago suburb roughly 25 miles away from Soldier Field. He said, quote, "We are at a pivotal juncture of the Chicago Bears franchise to build a new stadium our future home in Arlington Heights, which will require zero state money for construction. This is the year to finalize our stadium plans so we can officially bid to host a Super Bowl as soon as 2031. And in college football, it was announced, Alan, he's back, Biff Poggi will be Michigan's interim head coach for the next 2 games as Sherrod Moore serves a suspension.
How many lives does he have?
Oh, my goodness. Biff Poggi's back, baby. Woo! You think he's going cutoffs or what?
He's definitely going cutoffs.
So Sherrod Moore is serving his suspension stemming from the NCAA's ruling on the school's advanced scouting case. So Biff Poggi will take over as the head coach for Michigan these next 2 weeks. You got to love it. You got to love it. All right, that's what you may have missed in the wide world of sports. We've got Lake Lewis joining us here in just a couple of moments. Russ Huesman, the head coach of Richmond football, will be joining in hour number 2 as well. We want to let you guys know that on Thursday, we will be live out at Top Golf. We'll be doing a grand prize giveaway for some Adam Sandler tickets that we've been giving away out on our app. It is an awesome grand prize. We'll be drawing the names live out at Top Golf. We'll be there from 8 to 10 a.m. Top Golf opens at 9 a.m., so come through, say hi, hang out with us from 9 until 10. We are super excited for that, going out to Top Golf on Thursday as we give away some Adam Sandler tickets. You get the little coming together, Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler tickets, Top Golf. It all makes sense. It all comes together. All right, we're going to get a quick break in here. We'll step aside. Lake Lewis will be joining us here in studio as the Commanders get set for a Thursday night game, a short week against the Green Bay Packers, who are coming off of a big Detroit Lions win to open up the season. Stay with us. Fitz the Bill on this Tuesday morning, rolling right along.
6.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Linux dealer. Online at HermanAllenPlumbing.com.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. And Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Cooler fall temperatures are coming, and that means perfect weather for a round of golf at Queenfield Golf Club. Queenfield is a beautifully secluded 18-hole course just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville that offers a spacious driving range, practice greens and bunkers, and professionally maintained golf course. Take the afternoon off or schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve your spot online at queenfieldgolf.com. Queenfield Golf Club, RVA's best-kept secret.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. And Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Holding, defense, The ref totally blew that call.
Oh, I'm sure he'll make the right call next time.
It's too late. It cost us the game.
Well, it's just one game.
That loss eliminated us from the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs are on so late. Now you'll be well rested.
Okay, I need you to stop talking now.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Looking for a more natural way to sleep? Our orthopedic natural mattresses combine our legendary quality with nature's finest materials. We hand build each mattress using renewable materials like cotton, wool, and natural latex, creating a luxury sleep experience that's as good for the planet as it is for you. Visit one of our showrooms to try them out in person, or visit originalmattress.com to learn more. The Original Mattress Factory. Sleep better, naturally.
106.1 ESPN traffic.
For those of you heading south on 95, we are seeing some delays between Bryant Park Interchange and Belvedere Street, as well as between Chamberlain Avenue and Hermitage Road. Beware of heavy traffic heading west on 64 between Mechanicsville Turnpike and 95. And we're seeing some backup heading north on Powhite Parkway between Midlothian Turnpike and Chippenham Parkway.
Meet and greet Richmond football quarterback Kyle Wickersham when he joins Coach Russ Huseman for lunch and Spider football talk on Behind the Web, Thursday, noon to 1 at Bar West, 5811 Grove Avenue, and live on the home of the Spiders, 106.1 ESPN.
Yeah. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there.
Welcome back in Fitz the Bill on this Tuesday, September 9th morning. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, Allen alongside, and we are joined by Lake Lewis Jr., a Raising Hail Commanders insider and host of the Lake Lewis Jr. Show on YouTube. Lake, thank you so much for taking some time out of your morning. I know it's your off day because the Commanders not really practicing and all that.
Well, we're practicing today.
It's short week, so typically on a normal weekday,
yeah,
they're off. But appreciate you stopping by.
No problem. I'll be leaving here, heading right up to Ashburn. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy week for all of us.
Yeah, and then you got to get out to Green Bay for the Thursday. But that game, it has some. We were talking off air about this. We'll just dive right into Green Bay. We'll touch on the Giants game and everything. But that game feels like it is, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but Bills Ravens had this feel where that had huge playoff. That is who's going to host the AFC Championship game. This one, maybe not as clear cut, but feels like the winner will have a leg up in who is going to be hosting the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that, now I got to be honest with you. Was I excited about traveling to Green Bay? Not necessarily, but now I'm ready. I can't wait to get on the flight to head up there because this is a game, as you just said, Jack. I think it has playoff implications written all over it. I'm not sure if I'm ready to say that, the winner of this will be a number one seed, but they have every opportunity to be, especially knowing that Green Bay and Philly are going to play as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to go on here that really could determine the outcome of someone's season. And it's just week 2. So, if you're cheering for one of these teams and one of them loses, don't throw the hat in yet. I mean, this is just early in the season, but I think Washington has more to gain from this because if they were to go into Green Bay and win this football game, which I think they will, I think it does serve notice that they are the team that's coming for Philadelphia.
And it also feel like Green Bay pre-Micah pick, post-Micah pick, where it was a very trendy Super Bowl pick. It was my Super Bowl
that was
pick.
Yours, yeah.
So you can go into Green Bay, have an opportunity to kind of put your stamp down and be like, last year wasn't a fluke, guy. Like, we're here. And if now Jaden, people are saying he had a rough game 1. I don't think he had a rough game.
Think he had a rough game 1 at all.
People are, I think they just expect him to be 100% all the time, which is, I guess, the flip side of being so great. But if he can go there and ball out in Lambeau Field, all of a sudden you're putting the whole league on watch.
Yeah, and to go back to the thing about him having a rough game, he had a lot of people drop a lot of passes on him too that would have extended drives that, would have made his numbers look even better. But that guy was clearly the best player on the field. He did whatever he wanted when he wanted to. And you're going to need that, obviously, on Thursday night in Green Bay. Obviously, things change now, the dynamic of that defense, which was already a top 5 unit.
Yeah.
Rashard Gary is a monster, but now you've got literally King Kong of defense, Micah Parsons. I always have to say this, I'm Penn State alum. We are. He's just a disruptor, and he's an X factor now for that defense that is going to make other guys better, just naturally being better with a talent like that. And he was going, half speed last week and still was the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be something.
Yeah, played I think 45% of the team snaps and was clearly not 100%, but still was able to chase down Jared Goff for a sack.
Yeah,
and
3 quarterback pressures on top of that.
Yeah,
so
like have yourself a game. And now another week of, I assume, epidurals or whatever the treatment that they're giving him for. Sure. Probably the back is. It's going to be weird saying this, but on a short week, that back might actually be better than what it was going into week 1 because there's more treatment.
Yep.
And Connerly's going to get tested. Laramie Tunsil's going to get tested. Offensive line overall, I know Connerly makes that first start last week. How'd the offensive line hold up against a Giants defensive line that boasts Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns.
Yeah, they were loaded.
They got tested week 1. How do you think they held up?
I think they did excellent. If I were to give the offensive line a grade against the Giants, I'd give them an A-. Josh had one bad play where Brian Burns went right by him, but that's Brian Burns. He does that to a lot of, Pro Bowl tackles, let alone a rookie making his first start. But I will say this, the guy that people aren't talking a lot about that they should on that offensive line is Tyler Biadasz, at center. I think he's going to have a Pro Bowl season this year, and he did more than held his own against Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence, I said this, while we were sitting there towards the end of the game, before I headed down to the field for post game, I was literally thinking to myself, what am I going to say about Dexter Lawrence? Because I don't recall his name being called today. I think he had 3 tackles, but it just wasn't a Dexter Lawrence type day where you have to give credit to Tyler Biadasz and the offensive line. This offensive line, I really, truly believe at the end of the year, Washington's offensive line, when Sam Cosmi comes back, which I'm predicting will be week 5, I think that they have a chance to have a top 5 offensive line in the league, with the likes of, Philadelphia, Detroit, Green Bay's got a good offensive line. So, yeah, I mean, this is what you need if you're gonna try to make a run for it.
And they're going to be blocking for Bill Krosky-Merritt, who showed flashes of being very good. I think Eckler outsnapped him by about 10 snaps, but Bill Krosky-Merritt had more rushes and was dynamic with those rush attempts.
Yeah.
Do you foresee him eventually taking over that RB1 position as the week go on?
Absolutely. I think that's the intention, with this guy. And they understand the buzz that's come with him, but it's rightfully so. I've seen every practice, and I've seen this guy break some in practice, and he's doing it against a pretty good defense. Washington's defense is going to be surprisingly good this year. I think they have a top 10 ranked defense this year. So for him to get practices, and he told me that after the game, actually in the presser with him, I actually asked him about that, and he was like, as far as the physicality of going up against the Giants. And he said, no, I'm going up against these guys every day, our own defense. So they help prepare me for that. This is a different buzz going into Green Bay because it's Lambeau Field for one. I mean, that's a shrine, and that's a raucous atmosphere. If you've ever been to Green Bay and they're winning, I'm telling you, it's one of the loudest venues out, and it's Thursday night. So if he can have a game against these guys, he's RB1. Trust me.
And you mentioned the defense is who he's going up against. The defense, granted, pretty much a lot of the same guys, lost a couple of key players here and there, but added Javon Kinlaw, who all of a sudden looks like a Pro Bowl player that I think was expected when he was drafted coming out. Maybe took a couple of years. What did you see out of Javon Kinlaw and what he brought to that defensive line?
He has something that not too many guys or men that large have. I mean, he's got a motor. And he's uber athletic. I mean, I took a picture with him. I had interviewed him after one of the practices in training camp, and the picture that was taken, it went viral.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I saw that one, and
people
made
were
you
like,
look tiny.
Yeah, so people were like, oh, I think Lake Lewis is like 5'5", and I'm like, no, I'm 6 feet, almost 6'1". It's just that he's 6'6", and looks every bit the part. He's a large man, and the fact that he can move, he was drawing double teams on Sunday, and he was getting through those double teams. And then on the other side, Dedrick Wise is another large dude. So they look like they have a basketball team on the defensive line with size. They're just, they look like they have Shaqs, all four of them lined up. It's incredible. And I think that's Adam Peters trying to duplicate kind of like that 49er and even Eagles. You've got to have that physicality. So they have that now.
Yeah, and that physicality gives them these opportunities. Because last year, their Achilles heel against the Eagles was
they couldn't stop the run.
They lacked all the physical, and even on the offensive line side, they didn't have that physicality.
Yep.
You go out, you get a Connerly who's physical but athletic. Laramie Tunsil kind of brings this mean streak with him on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? And I know this is week 1, we're going into week 2.
These are great questions.
But did they make the necessary changes in the trenches specifically to catch up with? Philly also may have lost a step, but that's a whole other point. Like. To even themselves up with Philly?
100%. I think that was intentional. I think they had every bit the part. Let's face it, Josh Connolly wasn't a sexy pick. When there's other things that people are like, oh, you got to get an edge rusher. Not necessarily. They're going to generate a pass rush. They've already proven that. They proved that last year. They couldn't stop the run. If you go back and look at Sunday's tape, the Giants could not run the football. Russell Wilson was the only guy running, but he was running for his life.
So Giants couldn't do a lot on that offensive side of them.
Yeah, they
might be a long year up in New York.
So a little funny story for you. We get back to the hotel, and there were some Giants fans staying at the hotel where we were. It's not too far from the stadium. And there was a little kid, Giants attire on, and his dad was on the phone. So better half, Janine Samuels, she told the kid, tough loss today. And he was like, yeah. And I said, so what do you think? And he's like, Russell Wilson stinks, man. He said, we got to play Jackson Dart. One game they're all talking about that in New York now. And that might be coming sooner than later. But they've the toughest schedule in the league, the Giants. So do you want to start Jackson Dart with this gauntlet of a schedule coming up?
That's what I've been talking about all offseason. There's a stretch, I think week 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there where they go Eagles, Broncos, Eagles. And it's like, oh, good luck in that 3-game stretch. And
don't want to do that.
You don't want to throw him in there. You don't really want to throw him before that because I don't know if he'll be ready. And then, but now you got the fans saying like, well, we want Dart. He just balled out in preseason. What do you mean he can't start for us right now?
I mean, they do have to remember it's preseason.
Yeah.
And the other thing I will say this, not to stray here, but Russell Wilson, the problem that he had Sunday more than anything else, is the size of what we were just talking about. He couldn't see past the defensive line. He couldn't see around these guys. They're so big, and I'm not exaggerating. When you have 6'6" defensive ends that are 300-pounders, and your tackles in the trenches are 6'3", 6'4", and can move, it causes problems. And this is all done by design. And then you have Frankie Louvu and Von Miller and Jacob Martin coming at you on the edges. That's a good sign for Washington's defense. That first game was really a good look for them to show. And Javon told me in the locker room last week, he said, I know everyone's talking about the Giants front four, and rightfully so. They've got some great players. He said, but I think Sunday people are going to see that we've got something too. And they did.
So with this game against the Packers on Thursday night, what will you be looking for to see if they are part of that top tier in the NFC like we think the Packers are?
What I'm looking for Thursday is these are the games where Terry McLaurin makes big plays. And he only had 2 catches on Sunday, and that's not because of people are like, oh, well, he's probably getting back in football shape. No, it's because the Giants double-teamed him. They intentionally double-teamed him. Well, now with this team, if you double-team Terry, you're going to pick your poison because Debo's going to get you. And you saw that. Jalen Lane made some plays. Zach Ertz scored. So it's not just a one-man gang anymore. So what I'm looking for against Green Bay is in order to neutralize their speed. Green Bay has incredible speed on their defense, and they gang tackle. They do everything. You've got to be able to run the football on those guys. If you run the football, it'll open up some things for Terry, and then you'll see a a much better offensive performance. I think Washington goes into Green Bay, and I think they get the job done. I know people are going to say, Lake, you're crazy. Well, tell me something that everyone says I'm crazy. But I like my predictions. They sometimes come true.
I like it. It's a lot of positivity for good reason. You come out with a lot of positivity with that week 1 win against an NFC East opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But where could things potentially go wrong for this team?
You don't want to fall behind. You just don't. I mean, and I don't mean like by 3 or 7, but if if you're spotting Green Bay 10 points, now you're going to really see if Washington's defense can handle the run, because if you fall behind, Green Bay is going to hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs, and he's a sledgehammer. So again, this is one of those games where you're not going to look at the opponent and say, well, they've got a weakness here and we're going to attack that weakness. What is the weakness with the Packers on both sides of the ball? Maybe you can say, do they have a sheer number 1 at wide receiver? And that's going to be interesting because Washington's secondary is much improved. Their corners are really good. Trey Amos showed you that on Sunday. Marshawn is back. He's healthy. Mikey Sanders still's taking everything underneath away. So it's going to be a good test for Green Bay's receivers against Washington's secondary. And then on the flip side of it, it's going to be a good opportunity for Washington's receivers, meaning Terry, to exploit, some things in Green Bay's secondary.
How far have the Commanders secondary come in the last 365 days? I think at this point of last season, we were banging our heads against the wall because of whatever they were trotting out there each and every game. Now it feels like it is a huge strength of this team.
Yeah, I'm going to say it, man. They went from the outhouse to maybe the 10th floor. I wouldn't say the penthouse yet, but they're up there. They're moving up. And again, an opportunity on a Thursday night in front of the country. If you can, I wouldn't say Green Bay's receivers are vaunted, but they're good and they're collectively good. So if you can put together a really good performance against them, it's only going to springboard this defense even further. We saw what the defensive line did last week. Defense as a whole played great. So again, the identity could be shifting. Your coach is a defensive-minded coach, and last year he had to ride a rookie quarterback in an offense to get them where they needed to get to. Well, now the defense could be the catalyst for this team, and these are the type of games you need that to show.
So with the Green Bay game Thursday night, got to know your score prediction. You've already said a couple times Commanders win, but a score prediction for the Thursday night game between Commanders and Packers.
I'm saying 23-21 Washington. I think of all people, I think Matt Gay kicks a game-winning field goal. They're going to need him to do these things every now and then.
I feel like there's been a lot of heat on that kicker position in Washington.
He's smoking, walking through the locker room.
Between kickers, he may be the second most hot-seated kicker right now. Jake Moody of the 49ers might take that.
Yeah,
I know Alan's probably upset of hearing just the name Moody being thrown out. He's probably number 1, but he had a rough preseason. So
he's had a rough camp altogether. I wouldn't even say preseason. It's camp. But in fairness to him, I don't think you give a guy like that guaranteed money if you're expecting for him to always be kicking field goals.
Yeah.
I think they feel like their offense will be good enough. They just need him to kick extra points. But this is the type of game where he's going to have to earn his money. And I think they're going to need him to kick one at the end to win it. And that's my prediction.
So Commanders fans, get your fingernails ready now. Probably a lot of biting of them and holding your breath from the way the way that sounds. 23-21. That would be a pretty great game. Pretty fun game.
It would, even though I think it's going to be still a defensive type of game. I just think that there's just too much talent on both sides of the ball to not put it in the end zone. And again, they scored 21 last week with, not a really good offensive performance. So I think you'll see a much better, more crisp offense. And I think Green Bay does have some areas where you can attack them, but you're going to have to get a lead on these guys.
Last question here for you, because you mentioned how Debo got a lot of targets last game.
Yeah.
Terry, I think, only got 4 with 2 catches, but because they doubled him a lot. Do you think this offense will try and funnel some targets to Debo in a more designer type of way? Or do you think it's going to be whoever's open is probably going to get the ball thrown their way?
Yeah, I mean, I think, excuse me, I think Jaden has a setup, with Cliff that they know where the open guy is and they're going to find him. Again, if Zach Ertz catches a ball early, Debo drop one down the seam, if they make these catches, Jaden's numbers look totally different and the score is going to look totally different. But I do believe that when you go back and you look at the film, I was watching some yesterday, they kept sending Debo in motion the whole game. And it was just to set up things. And then, of course, he got the toss and he takes it in. These are all things that are going to help Bill, too. Because now, you see Debo coming in motion, you can hand it off to Bill. You can play action off this. So I think a lot of that stuff was done for the next game and the next game. So Green Bay's looking at this like, what are we going to do? I think Jalen Lane from VTech, I think he's a guy in this game coming up could be an X factor in the offense. So keep an eye on him too.
We'll keep our eyes peeled, and for Lil Bill as well. Maybe the best nickname in all of sports. Goes from Jacory to Bill, like whatever. That's the name everyone wants to be called when they're 20 something. Yes. Lake, appreciate your time. Thank you for stopping by. Have a safe trip up there, and have a safe trip to Green Bay later this week.
All right, my friend. I'll see you next week.
All right, we're gonna step aside. Be back with more Fitz the Bill right here on 106.1 ESPN.
Looking for a neighborhood service station that can provide premium fuel for your car, auto repairs, and friendly advice? Stop by the family-owned Bon Air Show, 8762 West Huguenot Road.
Soccer in RVA is winding down with just a few games left this season. Make your plans now to catch the next Richmond Kickers home game, Wednesday, September 17th versus Portland Hearts of Pipe. Tune in to hear ESPN Richmond live as we count down to this nationally televised game on RVA Community Night at City Stadium. Then it's on to a Saturday night showdown September 20th versus Charlotte Independence. Reserve your tickets today at richmondkickers.com. And don't forget, at Kickers games, dogs are always welcome.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Are you suffering from a sports injury, chronic pain, or something that just plain hurts? Ortho Virginia can help get you on the road to recovery. As the state's largest provider of orthopedic care, Ortho Virginia's team of specialists offers surgical and non-surgical treatment options. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why at Ortho Virginia, stronger starts here.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Defense. The ref totally blew that call.
Oh, I'm sure he'll make the right call next time.
It's too late. It cost us the game.
Well, it's just one game.
That loss eliminated us from the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs are on so late. Now you'll be well rested.
Okay, I need you to stop talking now.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Weather reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
106.1 ESPN weather.
It's currently 55 degrees with partly cloudy skies. A low today of 52 with a high of 76. We're seeing the sun poking out a little bit in the morning, but mostly cloudy skies following in the afternoon. Feeling a steady northern wind, averaging at about 8 miles per hour with gusts up to 17 miles per hour. And taking a look at tomorrow, temperatures will be dropping after some thunderstorms with a high of 74 and a low of 63.
It's off to Chapel Bill this Saturday. Hi, this is Bob Black. Join Chris Anderson, Matt Smith, and me as Richmond football gets its shot at Coach Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Pre-game Saturday at 3, kickoff at 3:30 on the home of the Spiders, 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill on this Tuesday, September 9th morning. Appreciate Lake Lewis Jr., our Raise and Hail Commanders insider and host of the Lake Lewis Jr. Show on YouTube, for stopping by. He'll be joining us each and every Tuesday throughout the Commanders season, giving us inside information, insights, and so much more every single Tuesday in hour number 1 of Fitz the Bill. Super excited to be chatting with Lake Lewis Jr., our Raise and Hail Commanders insider, each and every week. All right, let's go out to the phone lines to start off with this segment. We've got Chris out there on line 1. Good morning, Chris. How are we doing?
Morning, guys. Hey, this is a two-part question for both of you and Alan. I know Alan's the 49er expert, so we got to get his expertise here.
Get his insight here.
But we saw what Green Bay's defense looked like this week against the Lions, and maybe the Lions are that bad, or Green Bay's defense will just be that good this year. But who do you think has the juicier matchup this week on the defensive side of the ball? Green Bay against Commanders or the Niners against the Saints?
I think it'd be Green Bay against the Commanders. 49ers Saints doesn't seem all that juicy to me.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, if we're competing with the Saints, which we probably will, because no disrespect to the Seahawks, we should have beat them pretty soundly. I would feel some kind of way. Spencer Rattler's terrible, man. He's not good.
No, he's not. You should destroy him.
We should, but we won't.
So maybe it sounded like the Niners have the better matchup here in terms of which defense will have the better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If that was the question.
Yeah, you don't want to go.
Oh, is this a fantasy football question for which defense should you start in fantasy football?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Niners.
Yes, Niners. Yes, Niners.
By all means, stay away from Jaden Daniels.
I did not know that was where that question was going. I thought you meant like juicier, as in like which one is going to like make for a better game that I'm going to want to watch. No, San Francisco should destroy the New Orleans Saints. I would start San Francisco's defense over Green Bay.
And when you lose points because of does Moody missing field goals count against the defense?
Yes, it's defense special.
That'd be your only downside. You gotta take Moody with the Niners defense.
Okay, well, yeah. So just in terms of looking at Green Bay, you don't think there's a chance that Washington has a setback here? I mean, I think Green Bay's got, with the addition of Parsons, their defense is primed for a lot of upside, but
yeah,
the 49ers do have a generous schedule.
If we're talking like, so the way I do defenses in fantasy football, I'm a very much week to week type of defensive guy. So I'll go on waiver wires a lot and pick up defenses each week. But if we're looking at the both of them for this week only, then it is San Francisco. And then even more so for the whole season, San Francisco's got an easier schedule. But talking about this week in and of itself, Green Bay does have a very good defense, right? Like Micah is elite. We were just talking with Lake about their overall defensive speed. They've got a good secondary. They've got good linebackers. They are a good defense, and you can't go wrong with them. But I'm always looking for the boom opportunities with defenses. And I think that boom opportunity is with San Francisco, and they don't have that big of a bust opportunity because New Orleans likely isn't going to hang 30-plus points up against them. San Francisco, though, can, however, pick off Spencer Rattler 1 or 2 times, and they'll probably get a couple of field goals in there. Moody won't have another horrible game like he did. So I think San Francisco gives you the higher ceiling and a similar floor to Green Bay.
Well, all right. That answers my question. I appreciate it, guys.
Of course.
Good
Thank
luck,
you so much
Alan.
for calling, Chris. Thank you so much for calling, Chris. Ooh.
Oh man, Chris, you have no idea what it's like to have to go through kick and cow every Sunday, man. I completely missed this question too on the text line. What problems does Green Bay defense present for Washington? It's really all about the speed, man. Just the athleticism in general. You can get so disruptive with your packages when you got guys like Micah Parsons.
And I mean, their back end is very good. They got rid of Joe Barry, their defensive coordinator, who was there for so long. They got rid of him and they brought in Jeff Hafley, and his defensive schemes have just made them so much better. Micah's a problem now being added in, but I like this defense. Before Micah was added in, they are extremely good at stopping the run. They can force turnovers. And look, Jared Goff, he may be 3-17-1 in his career when he's not having an offensive coordinator named Sean McVay or Ben Johnson. However, that Detroit offense still has Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. They've still got a ton, Jameson Williams. They've still got a ton of weapons. And Green Bay made them look like Detroit of 2021, not Detroit of 2024. And that just goes to show you how good, how fast, how dynamic Green Bay's defense is. So some of the problems it could pose for Washington is not allowing them to run the football, forcing them to become one-dimensional and relying on Jaden Daniels for them to win the game. And that's a tall ask when it's on the road in a short week, inside Lambeau of all places. If Green Bay's defensive speed can shut down the rushing attack and forces Washington to be one-dimensional, then I would say look out. But I just don't foresee that happening. I think the offensive line of Washington is good enough to at least keep some sort of semblance of a rushing attack.
Yeah, and the thing here with the matchup, this is a game where the Commanders have to be willing to take the shots. You will have opportunities to blow the top off of this Packers defense
because they're aggressive.
Yes,
so they're gonna try and get theirs,
and they still do a lot of single high, which means that Terry, this is your chance to get vertical. Debo and the rest of these guys, this is your chance to get your yak. It's just all about how they scheme it, right? If they scheme it similar to what they did against the Giants, which is an aggressive defense in and of itself as well, I think they'll find success. But there's more opportunity for big boom plays in this matchup for the Commanders' offense. They just got to be willing to take the shots. Goff isn't a shot taker, man.
Yeah,
but he's never been the guy who's going to blow the top off of a defense, and that bit him in the butt a little bit on Sunday. Jaden Daniels is 1,000% going to take his shot. So it's going to be interesting.
Jared Goff also didn't really have that much time on their last game. However, I want you to guess how many passes Jared Goff attempted on Sunday that traveled 20 air yards or more.
Probably 2.
1.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Which is quite impressive considering he averaged a 2.95 time to throw. He had about 3 seconds in the pocket to throw, and he went deep time.
My man Sewell was getting bodied by a dude that ain't even practicing, man. So every tackle I love is getting destroyed.
I am very intrigued on the matchup with Micah Parsons, with Josh Connerly and Laramie Tunsil.
I don't want to see Parsons and Connerly.
I don't. You know what Jeff Hafley's going to do, right?
I know what he's going to do.
You know what they're doing all week right now? They're circling the right tackle.
Hey,
they're saying,
I give
Micah,
Connerly
good luck.
Credit. When he got beat by the speed, he didn't get beat twice.
No,
he made the adjustment pretty quickly. He's got good teachers.
First quarter might be a little rough for Josh.
Oh yeah,
because he's going to see a lot of different things from Micah.
Yeah. So, I actually asked him about that in the locker room. I might have sent you that sound, but I specifically asked him what is it like to have your first game be against like such a prolific rotation, and then you turn around and your consolation prize is you get Micah Parsons week 2 on a short week.
On a short week.
Yeah. As a rookie.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL.
Yeah,
Connerly.
man. It's rough.
All right, let's go back out to the phone lines. We've got Reggie out there. Good morning, Reggie. How we doing?
Hey, gentlemen. Good morning. I need y'all to help me with something with the SEC. Now, Ole Miss and Tennessee had a play that the fans didn't like. Next thing I know, it's raining bottles, raining mustard bottles. Who brings a whole thing containing mustard and throws it on the field? I never seen nothing like that in my life. I mean, what is going on when they're showering down objects? And obviously, the conversation they had before the game, if you're or throw objects on the field, you will be ejected. Seems like that doesn't apply to the SEC. I mean, what's going on?
Reggie, you've never just taken a mustard bottle with you wherever you go in case you get hungry?
Nah.
I mean,
a whole container of mustard flying through the air. You know how much damage that could do to somebody?
yeah,
I mean,
the
come on.
FCC is a little weird with what they decide to throw on the field. Like, it's always just interesting.
I mean, I understand people get passionate and they get a little liquored up, the tailgate. Okay, that's cool. But still, the NFL has added 15 more cameras. That's how they got that fan in Buffalo that did an idiotic thing. And I'm glad they quickly said you're suspended for all stadiums, not just here, but any stadium you can't go to. That's fine. But, I mean, what's it going to take for some of these people to stop selling beer, stop selling everything at the stadium? And that's going to hurt their bottom line as far as concessions. I mean, this stuff is getting out of hand.
Reggie, do you think Tyrese Halliburton's dad would ever bring a mustard bottle into an arena?
No, that idiot. No, let me stop.
No, you're right. It is something that needs to be curtailed and kind of figured out a little bit, because it only happens with the SEC where they're throwing mustard and they're throwing more debris. Like, I've been to a lot of games and I've never experienced debris being thrown onto the field, maybe except for, a drunken kid throwing a water bottle. But then I've always seen him get escorted out. But the SEC, it just means more. So I guess that means it just means more to throw mustard bottles. Like, they're an interesting conference.
The next time I'm going to throw a keg out there, then what?
Then we're going to have a party. I'll tap it, and we can do some keg stands right out there at the 50, Reggie.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Reggie. There goes Reggie. Yeah, if they start throwing cakes, man, that's free beer.
Yeah, it originated from the Mustard Bowl in 2021 and just kind of evolved into like a running joke.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because I knew Lane Kiffin got hit.
Yeah, originally it was during the Mustard Bowl, and then the French's mustard became a symbol of disappointment in officiating. So if you're at an SEC game and you see mustard flying on the field, that means the fans are not happy with how the game's being called.
Instead of booing, they're throwing mustard. We had a texter said, I know it's a different level, but Buffalo fans were doing nonsense like this Sunday night.
Oh, Buffalo is where the original
wing came from.
Yeah, the foreign object that was being thrown in WNBA games was also being thrown at Buffalo.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Exactly. You see how I worded that, but that's where that originated, I believe. So yeah, they are known to be crazy. I mean, Bill's Mafia they're nuts. That's why we love them.
They're jumping through flaming tables pregame. But
I can't wait. One day I'm going to do that.
I am very glad that the guy who pushed DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Jackson got ejected and is now suspended from all NFL stadiums. And I'm also glad for what it seems that Lamar Jackson will not be getting not suspended, but won't be getting fined for his actions.
I don't think the Ravens as an organization are going to fine him.
No, I don't think the NFL is either.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad about that.
Hey.
I'm glad they're taking the side of the player in this scenario.
You know what? I'm glad that it wasn't Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, right? Like the old Ravens, it would have been a totally different reaction.
We would have. No, I won't.
I won't
go there.
It would have been Malice in the Palace 2.0. They would not play that. Them boys was not playing anybody of the opposing team touching them. It would have been in the stand. So
you're right.
Credit to Lamar for just doing a shove.
Lamar for just shoving. But even that, I didn't even realize like it happened. And then they kept like bringing it back up, and I was like, I didn't even think this was a real, like, okay, he shoved him first. I didn't care.
I don't think fans realize how big these NFL players are.
But Lake was saying, like with Javon Kinlaw, dude, 6'6", all of 300.
You can ask Jordan when we were in the locker room. Like, I knew Kinlaw was big. Same reaction I had. I was like, wow, my man's sitting down. He looks like he's still standing.
What? He's 6'6", 320.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And he's a lean 320. He's not like a heavy set guy.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell myself too.
You got to think you're pushing up on these professional players. Like, imagine if that's Derrick Henry and Derrick Henry gets mad. Ain't enough security in that stadium to stop you or stop him from getting to you.
And that's the other thing. Like, yeah, that. And also they're in the middle of them performing their profession. And I understand they're on a different level of playing fields than we all are. But like, I could not imagine how bad of a radio show I would have if I had someone here standing and pushing me.
Yeah.
And until like I would snap and push them back. Maybe even pull a Jalen Carter and spit on him.
I'll heckle. I'll heckle and do other things, but I'm not putting my hands on anybody.
No.
Especially with this idea that I can touch you, but you can't touch me. That's just there's no imaginary fence there, man.
That's fake. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's weak. That's weak sauce. Don't do that.
Again, I'm happy that it didn't escalate further. Just kind of one of those situations where it's like, what in the world? Did you see what Aqib Talib said?
No, what did
he was
Aqib
like,
Talib
I would have.
say?
He said he would have grabbed dude and brought him on the field since he wants to be down there.
Yeah, Aqib Talib's also insane.
Yeah,
insane.
It would have been. There's probably 100 players I could name where it would have been an instant scuffle if that had been them. Lamar Jackson's one of like maybe 6 or 7 guys that it's the best person to have that happen to because he handled it the right way.
He handled it the right way. Speaking of Javon Kinlaw, though, he was the highest graded defender for the Commanders over the weekend at 89.7.
Edge Kinlaw, baby. He was on the edge.
3 pressures, 2 quarterback hits, a hurry, 3 tackles in there. I mean, he was a monster. Played in 40 of the team's 68 defensive snaps.
I miss him in San Francisco a little.
He was
just a little.
He was. I didn't realize he was that good. You know who the worst graded commander was?
The worst graded commander, was it Frankie Louva?
It was Noah Igbenogany.
Oh.
Did you go back and watch the broadcast? I know you were at the game.
I did not watch the broadcast. I look up occasionally to see plays that I might have missed. But
so you didn't hear what Tom Brady said
about who? Noah?
He goes, you know, Noah Igbenogany.
Just call him Noah, man.
And then like finally got the word out. And then who's his Joe Davis is his play-by-play, and he goes, "Huh, that's weird, Tom. You nailed it this morning in the mirror." And I was like, "Dang,
that's great." Poor Tom, he's getting there.
I don't think he is. I think he's taking some steps.
The combination of Kinlaw and what he does and Daron Payne had Daron Payne looking like Alabama Daron Payne.
Daron Payne, 4th highest graded player.
And Alabama Daron Payne was one of the most disruptive interior defensive linemen I've ever seen come out of college. And you got a good sense of that on Sunday. Again, this is a 1-game sample size. They're going to be way better offensive lines than the Giants. Giants offensive line is average at best. But the way they handled it, and you know, again, it's my old mantra, you beat people how they're supposed to be beaten. There was a clear difference between the Commanders' D-line and the Giants' offensive line, and that's what we should have seen. So I'm not going to knock them for it, but I definitely want to see as they get gradually better and they go against like the Eagles, which is like the apex of offensive lines. I want to see how they handle it.
I mean, they got a test this week too. Like they got a test with the Packers' offensive line. They played pretty well against Detroit.
Yeah, but
Detroit's defensive line is Aiden Hutchinson, then a bunch of me's.
So, T-Rex Hutchinson with his short arms.
And with a broken leg that he's still working back from. But like Green Bay's offensive line, nothing to sneeze at. So it's a massive test on Thursday night. We'll keep talking about this game throughout the entire week. Appreciate Lake Lewis Jr. from stopping by, our Raisin Hail Commanders insider and host of the Lake Lewis Jr. Show on YouTube. He'll be joining us each and every Tuesday throughout the Commander season, so you do not want to miss it. In studio, live, hour number 1, every single Tuesday. I cannot wait to catch up with Lake next Tuesday after the Thursday night game. Should be fantastic. Russ Huesman, head coach of Richmond football, will be joining us in hour number 2, and we've got news or snooze in hour number 2 as well. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real real cash back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Horse racing is back, and it's time to get ready for another Triple Crown season. Get the latest from the industry every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 with Off to the Races on 106.1 ESPN, presented by The Racing Biz. Nick Hahn and Frank Vespi bring you their insight and knowledge, talking with the people making the headlines, including jockeys, trainers, and owners. Plus, get the expert picks each week, including a visit by Derby Bill Watson. It's Off to the Races each Saturday morning at 10 on 106.1 ESPN, streaming live on the iHeartRadio app.
Incredible Cleaning Services is family-owned and the locally trusted choice for homes and businesses in the Tri-Cities area since 2017. From one-time deep cleans, we also specialize in commercial cleaning and construction cleaning to regular service and maintenance cleaning. We save you valuable time. For your free estimate, visit our website at incrediblecleaningservice.com. Here at Incredible Cleaning Services, we will give you your weekend back to spend it with family and friends. incrediblecleaningservice.com.
Meet and greet Richmond football quarterback Kyle Wickersham when he joins Coach Russ Huseman for lunch and Spider football talk on Behind the Web, Thursday, noon to 1 at Bar West, 5811 Grove Avenue, and live on the home of the Spiders, 106.1 ESPN.
From the ESPN studio, presented by Ortho Virginia. Find one of Ortho Virginia's orthopedic locations at orthovirginia.com. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURB HD2 Richmond. We are 106.1 ESPN. You're listening to the second hour of Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome in hour number 2 of Fitz the Bill right here live from Ortho Virginia Studios and the capital of the Commonwealth, ESPN Richmond. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick Allen alongside. And coming up here in hour 2, we've got Russ Huseman, the head coach of Richmond, joining at about 9:30. We've got news or snooze, and of course, everyone's favorite segment. Well, I guess everyone's favorite segment's technically news or snooze, according to the reports, according to the data.
If it's not, then clearly you're doing something wrong, people.
Exactly. News or snooze is the best one. The second most favorite segment is our Commonwealth Power Rankings. Because, of course, we've got to power rank the best teams in Virginia, 1 through 5, and then who's on the outside looking in. Number 1 in our Commonwealth Power Rankings, diving right on into it, it's going to be Virginia still. No, there's no change at the top. Let me get that out of the way. There's no change with the 1 and the 2 team. It's still UVA number 1. It's still JMU number 2. For UVA, that NC State loss, it's a bummer, right? Like, all right, you had it. You were up a couple of scores in the second half and ends up slipping away. But you got to learn how to win. And Virginia has not won consistently since Bronco Mendenhall was there. But in this Tony Elliott era, they have to learn how to win. And that NC State game was a loss where you can take a lot of positives from it. And that is a game where you now have started to learn how to win, right? And Chandler Morris is proving to be, dare I say, one of the most important transfers in the entire country. What he has done for the UVA offense, albeit in a small sample, has been very impressive to watch, albeit in that small sample. One of those teams is a bad Coastal Carolina team. But UVA still number 1. I like the vibes coming out of that NC State loss. JMU still number 2. As much as that Louisville loss stings as a JMU alum, they were still a Sun Belt team that hung tough with a college football playoff contender at their place. Also, the nerd numbers indicate that JMU is actually the better team. So that's my big takeaway. My big takeaway from that one. So ODU is number 3. They did what they were supposed to do against NC Central, right? They went into NC Central came to their place and they blew them out. They did what they were supposed to do and they looked good doing it. Paired with the fact that their Indiana game was a little closer than I think a lot of people expected. ODU is number 3 in our Commonwealth Power Rankings. The one big bummer for Old Dominion is Jason Henderson retirement completely blows. The the best linebacker in the country before his injury, has not been able to return to his optimal playing shape, his playing form. And so on Sunday, Jason Henderson, the linebacker for ODU, retired from the game of football. That is a massive blow to that defense. Number 4 and number 5 are two FCS schools, William and Mary. They're number 4. They're coming off of a close win to Maine, and the transitive property means they would have had a close game against Liberty, which this, that, and the other makes it where they're number 4. And their offense is now in a pretty good rhythm. They've scored 20-plus points in the first 2 games of the season, which is a little bit better than our 5th-place team, Richmond, where the offense needs a jolt. And now they got some injuries coming to that unit as well. We'll catch up with Coach Russ Huseman about those injuries on the offensive side. The defense, however, for Richmond is legit. Very good defensive unit that's going to keep them in a lot of games this season and going to let them win a lot of games this season. And on the outside looking in, we've got Virginia State's coming off of that overtime loss to Norfolk State. That's a bummer. If they had won that game, I think I would have put them in that 5th spot. Union's coming off of a bye week, so they fell out of the top 5. And Virginia Tech is now out of the top 5. Virginia Tech, until proven otherwise, is not a top 5 team in our Commonwealth Power Rankings. It's unfortunate for them. But until proven otherwise, they've got to make an emphatic win against ODU, and then maybe you can start clawing your way back into the top 5. But as it stands now, the once proud flagship program of Virginia has kind of fallen on hard times, and that second half to Vanderbilt's gonna last a long time in a lot of people's memories. All right, let's move attention back to last night's game as the Vikings pulled off a huge fourth quarter to get a 24-21 win over the Chicago Bears. And Alan, I was texting you about this with Caleb Williams. A lot of people were in love with Caleb after that first drive. After the first couple of drives, 10 for 10. He gets a score there. He gets him going. I think I texted you and I was like, am I missing something? He looks skittish in the pocket. He looks
The script be scripting.
The script. That part.
Great job by Ben Johnson and the Bears on the first drive, and then after that, it was downhill pretty much. I actually got my all 22s login finally. It's having some issues with the account, so I plan to go back and look. But I don't know, man. To me, there's a couple issues I have with it. Ben Johnson should know Flores. Flores hasn't really changed what he does. It's hard to predict what he's doing, but you get the idea. It's fire zone concepts. I talked about it a little bit yesterday on the Sports King show. It's not like he reinvented the wheel. You've played him enough where you should have a game plan that is effective against this defense, but it didn't look like it. It really didn't. After that first drive, it really looked like they were kind of freestyling. So I'm like, is that Caleb or is that you, right?
There was a couple like good plays. There was one where Olamide Zaccheaus gets put into motion going from the far side of the screen to the near side, gets about halfway through the line of scrimmage, cuts back hard the other way. It shows that Brian Flores is in man coverage with the Vikings, and Zaccheaus is able to do kind of a quick out route. They pick up 7 yards, I think ends up getting a first down on the run after the catch. And there were plays like that were set up well, but if there was not like a pre-snap motion with a very quick read, Caleb was holding onto the ball, and the second that the pocket moved at all, his feet were going. His feet and his hands and his head were not all together, and he was trying to get out of the pocket, or he was going directly to the dump down 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he checked down a little too early on a couple plays.
There was one, DJ Moore was running wide open on I think it was a flag route, and he's about 20 yards down the field, right? And wide open, not a person around him. But the pressure had gotten maybe a step too close to him, and he immediately goes to the check down. It's like if you had held onto that ball a split second longer, like literally 1/10 of a second longer, 2/10 of a second longer, that pressure would not have hit you, and you would have been able to have a 30, 40 yard, maybe even a touchdown.
Yeah, and there's something to be said, like I texted you back last night about guys' clocks, right? It's just it's messed up. I don't know how you fix that. I will say Sam Darnold's clock was messed up, and then O'Connell figured out a way to get him straight, at least for 15, 16 games. He was straight. And then after that, I think the Lions and Aaron Glenn just sent like 9 people.
Yeah.
And they threw him off again.
We're gonna mess him up again.
But But Caleb, I hate to say he needs to be broken down and built back up again.
Yeah.
And I know people are throwing around benching him and whatnot. If you're gonna bench him, you might as well go on ahead and just scrap the whole thing. Like the guy needs a vote of confidence, and he needs time to get these bad habits out of his system and essentially relearn the position from Ben Johnson's perspective.
Exactly. And Ben Johnson and him, I mean, there were moments where it looked good. It looked like things were going to be going well for them. And then some of his bad habits creep back in. He had the happy feet, very quick to bail out of the pocket. One of the biggest weaknesses that I saw was that he loves and relies on weird arm angles and bad platforms almost too often. Like, he wants to be throwing on the run away from his target. He wants to throw from a side arm angle. He doesn't like just dropping back 3 steps, boom, timing is going to be on it. That wasn't how he played at USC. That wasn't how he played at Oklahoma. That wasn't how he played last season, but it's how Ben Johnson wants him to play. And so it's going to take some learning and some unlearning from Caleb to fit into this new Chicago Bears offense. And he's got to slow down a little bit because last night he was playing fast. He was playing fast. And I mean that in like a derogatory sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had a lot of plays where guys were in his lap immediately and once he got the ball. And
neither offensive line had a good game.
Yeah, and the platform stuff or just throwing like all crazy and angles and all that. I think it's just overconfidence on his part because at every level he's been successful as a quarterback, and there's probably never been a throw he didn't think he couldn't make. And 9 times out of 10, he would make that throw. I remember there was a play when he was playing like San Jose State where he was literally falling down and threw like 65 yards on a dart to a receiver. So like in his mind, he
can do it.
Patrick Mahomes is the same way. Like there are 2 guys that no matter what happens, if the ball is in their hand, even if they're throwing with their left hand, in their mind, they can make the throw. We've seen Mahomes do that a lot. I think Caleb's kind of the same mindset. Like he knows in his mind or thinks in his mind he can make any kind of throw. That's not necessarily true. As we've seen over the last year, it's not necessarily true. He needs to learn that, but he's got to be coached, man. He didn't get any coaching with Eberflus. A part of me feels bad for Ben Johnson because I know he sees the talent, but it's like, man, it's so broken.
It's like, I don't know the right analogy of this, but you can see like the diamond.
I got you a good analogy. It's a 6-cylinder that's running on 4. That's what it is. Like he's it's a good car. It just the engine needs some work, and once the engine gets fixed, it's gonna run so good. It's gonna run probably the fastest on the track.
But do you have the patience to get there?
Yeah, but right now it's 4 cylinders. It's not 6, and that's an issue. And you know how you can maybe fix one of those is you can get the run game going some kind of way. That was probably the most disheartening aspect of last night.
Get the run game going. Get the pass protection going.
Yeah, there's no hope on the pass protection. You're gonna have to
retooled. You retooled all offseason. You're like, all right, we're gonna get a new center and new 2 guards, and it just did not look like they changed anything.
Yeah, and we're gonna skip over Tyler Warren and get Loveland. How did he do last night?
I think 1 catch.
Yeah, was he out there? Because Tyler Warren was pretty good in his game.
There was a catch of goal, and I know you're just being rude to Colson Loveland, but there was a catch where he's coming over the middle, hit him in the chest plate, and he nearly dropped it. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is the guy they picked over Tyler Warren. What are they doing?
Insane, man.
And then,
I'll never let that go.
And then on the other side, JJ McCarthy it was so funny. It was when McCarthy was playing poorly, Caleb Williams was playing fantastically. And then when J.J. McCarthy started to get better, Caleb got worse. J.J. McCarthy, originally I said tale of 2 halves because that just sounds good. But it was really a tale of 3 quarters and then the fourth, where he has 39 yards in the first half, 48 yards passing in the third quarter, in the first 3 quarters, with a pick 6 thrown. He had 87 passing yards in the fourth quarter, 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. It reminds me a lot of Russell Wilson. He's going to give you 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter, he's going to become the greatest quarterback in the National Football League. Not saying McCarthy was the greatest quarterback in the National Football League, but he rose to the occasion, and he had some clutch moments last night.
Yeah, the thing about McCarthy, I give O'Connell credit and Jetta. I don't know if you saw, but there was several times, especially after the interception, where you could tell they were talking amongst themselves, like, how do we get his confidence back, or like, what do we do to support him? Because, man, any other wide receiver one, man, Jetta's got the most patience I've ever seen with the guy, his talent.
And he's an LSU guy.
Yeah, I would have been
shocking.
I would have been irate, man. If you don't get me this ball, these are practice squad corners. I got one freaking catch.
he realized, Jetta's realized, well, if I can just get his confidence back, I know he's throwing to me.
If Addison was on the field, it wouldn't have went down like that. Addison would have snapped.
Addison, and then Jetta's would have probably snapped. But Justin Jefferson was able to be like, all right, if I can just calm him down.
Thielen's back. Calm.
I'll get all the targets because he's not throwing to Thielen. Yeah. I'll get all the. If I can just calm him down, I'm about to get 15 targets. And look, my fantasy team really liked it. My fantasy team came up on the right side of things. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We've got Bruce out there on this Tuesday morning. Good morning, Bruce. How we doing?
Good morning, Fitz. Good morning, Alan. Hey, man, what a gem. A 6-cylinder running on 4. Man, I wonder if y'all got so many great topics. I wonder if y'all will do a topic of athletes, 6 cylinders running on 4, or if you will flip it and you'll do a topic on athletes, 4 cylinders with twin turbos.
Ooh.
Oh, I would love to hear that. 4 cylinders with twin turbos. Man.
Brock Purdy.
Think of the names. Yeah. Think of the names you could throw at that, man. This the tight end from Atlee High School in that coach uniform. You could drop him in there. 4 cylinders running on 4. 4 cylinders running on twin turbo.
Yeah, he might be a twin turbo running as a twin turbo, though. That dude is a special athlete.
Yes. You got a lot of people that you could drop in there. I don't know if y'all caught the Friday night game with Mekhi Becton and some of them holes that he opened up. Looked like you could have drove a SUV through some of them holes.
I think the Eagles are going to be missing Mekhi a lot this season, Bruce. He's going to make some running backs very happy out there with the Chargers.
Man, he opened some holes. I mean, yes. So we got a lot of local products that are doing quite well in the NFL. Yesterday, guys,
Trey Henderson has a governor on his engine. They won't give him the ball.
Yesterday, also Armstrong. I don't know if y'all picked this up. Armstrong pulled off a victory against TJ.
Yeah,
and I don't know, in high school football.
Yeah, I forgot that they picked up that game after it was postponed on Thursday. They finished it up, and Armstrong, gets that huge win. Ends TJ's what? Like, it was now 2. You're going into season 3 of a regular season win streak.
Yeah. So that was huge, man, for the kids off of Cool Lane to get that type of victory. So just wanted to sort of bring. I know I talked NBA yesterday, so I know Fitz was like, Bruce, what are you doing, man? So just wanted to bring some NFL to you guys today. Yeah, man, and looking forward, I'll leave y'all with this in case I don't speak with y'all the remainder of the week. I'm hoping to see the Ravens, even though they lost Sunday evening. We're hoping to see them Sunday at home against the Browns. They're doing their 30th anniversary game this Sunday in M&T.
That'll be a great game to be at.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they may put up 50.
Get the bad taste out of their mouth.
Yeah, but Myles Garrett may get 15 sacks too. Well, I don't know if he'll get that many, but I wouldn't mind seeing a stiff arm between what's the name in Myles Garrett, because I think Myles Garrett is probably the one player that could take the stiff arm.
Bruce, I haven't seen Myles Garrett up close and personal. Myles Garrett ain't getting stiff arm, man. That's going to be an unstoppable force being an immovable object or something like that, whatever that analogy is.
Yeah,
that would be definitely a clash of titans, man. Myles is something else.
Man, they say he's a freak.
He is.
He's a real freak of nature.
Every story you've ever heard and what you see on TV is 1,000% true.
What a guy.
Wow. Hi, guys. Thanks for the call. And I misquoted even when I said Bron yesterday because it also includes CP3. But I wanted to emphasize Bron. So I'm going to stay off the NBA until October.
Bruce, appreciate you calling and have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the game if you make it up there. There goes Bruce. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll step aside. Brock Purdy's a 4-cylinder right now running on twin turbo. Except maybe not anymore. His shoulders hurt, his toes hurt, and then essentially the entire starting lineup of the 49ers is hurt. George Kittle's going to miss a couple of weeks with a hamstring injury. Trent Williams was a little banged up in that week 1 win. Good luck, 49ers. That's my Seahawks showing through. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll step aside. Be back with more on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
You don't have to be just a number when it comes to your health care. The average doctor cares for 4,000 patients per year, while a Welcome MD doctor like Dr. Richard Peoples sees less than 400 patients per year. This means you get better personalized health care specific to your needs. Aren't you worth it? Make an appointment today with Dr. Peoples at 804-774-7099 or visit welcomemd.com. Mention this ad for a special discount. Welcome MD.
From Richmond and beyond, Border to Border with Matt Josephs on 106.1 ESPN breaks down Virginia sports like nobody else. Bold opinions, zero sugarcoating. Tune in. News or snooze?
That's right. It's the Fitz the Bill #1 rated segment. News or snooze. We've got a mixture again today. Up first, believe it or not, is college football. Arch Manning health speculation dismissed by Steve Sarkisian.
Snoozeworthy. Did you see the video of
Unfortunately, I did. Oh no, I thought you were gonna ask me if I saw the video of what Sarkisian said.
No. Did you see the video?
I
of
did
Arch?
not see the video of Arch.
She threw a pass this last week and like immediately winced and grabbed his throwing shoulder.
That was probably him realizing that he had to watch his own throw. I'm joking.
Man, I do love everyone who's like the Arch Manning still like apologists that are out there pointing to his performance. They're like, see, he's not bad. He's good. And it's like, it was what, San Jose State?
Mm-hmm.
And he was still only 19 of 30 for 295, still threw a pick and only had 4 touchdowns. And I know you're like, Jack, only, come on.
Yeah, San Jose State's supposed to be for a program like Texas, this is where you stat pad.
Yeah, like he should have had 300 plus. If he was the prince who was promised, who's the nickname we use for that Nick Wright of First Things First uses for Trevor Lawrence sometimes. If Arch Manning was the king who was promised, which Paul Feinbaum was telling us, and all the other media members from the SEC, second coming of Jesus Christ, some were saying, then you'd expect him to be better than 19 of 30 for 295, 4 tutties and an interception. I do think there is legitimate health concerns around his shoulder. He threw that ball and immediately winced and went to grab at it. Like, if he's having some sort of shoulder issue, maybe he got hit a little hard in camp or something just kind of doesn't feel right. That could explain maybe some of his poor play. Now, I'm not using it as an excuse for why he's had poor play, but that is something very closely to monitor here coming up. It's snooze worthy because it was dismissed. If I'm Steve Sarkisian, I might lean into that a little bit more, and I might try to play it up.
Yeah, I don't want to give him an out, even if he's air quote injured, because his legs still work and he can still be efficient.
And he was just downright bad against Ohio State, arm or no arm.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me. He's really shaping up to be like their Sarkisian's version of Phil Simms. I wonder if the backups Major Applewhite. You remember, you were young then, but do you remember that combination? Like Chris Simms was okay, but personally, my recollection, Major Applewhite was way better.
Major Applewhite's now the head coach of South Alabama.
Yes, he got into coaching and Simms went to commentary. But I remember Simms got hurt. Applewhite came in. I thought he outplayed him, but they went back to Simms because of the last name, basically. I want to say it bit him in the butt, honestly, but that was always what I thought about for Mac Brown, even after he won the national championship with Vince Young, was just how they wouldn't get off of Simms. And now they've got Manning, and it's kind of the same thing. Like they just won't get off Manning no matter what.
Nope.
Even if he's terrible, even if he gets hurt, it won't matter. He'll still be the quarterback.
So. What's the next one?
Number 2, Xavier Howard says Colts forced Tagovailoa into panic mode.
Newsworthy. So this is his quote. We knew the guy. He gets the ball out pretty quick. And once we take away his first read, I feel like it's panic mode after that. And it showed yesterday. We took away his first read, and he was trying to get rid of the ball real quick. Yikes. Xavier Howard was your teammate, man. That was your teammate.
Well, hold on. Somebody reads the scouting report. Oh, my God. It's almost like
he brought the scouting report with him.
Almost like he had like 4 or 5 years worth of tape on him or something. Or maybe he was on his team.
Goodness gracious. The Dolphins might be in for a really long year.
I mean, he didn't say anything we didn't already know.
No, I know. But like, start doing it more. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I thought everybody was doing it more, which is why my guy Tyreek Hill keeps wanting to crash out at the end of every game.
He nearly crashed out in the middle of that game.
Yeah.
He was on the sidelines looking like he had seen a ghost. But this is so bad for Tagovailoa. Like, and I know that's what the scouting report has been saying, but like having it being said out there and not just saying that if you take away the first read, he struggles, but Xavier Howard, your former teammate as of 4 months ago, is calling you a panicky quarterback, saying you aren't unable to move through progressions whatsoever. And if the Dolphins don't have a zag for this, then they are going to be royally screwed for the rest of the season with how it's all going to play out.
Mike McDaniel, come back home. Come to San Francisco, be our offensive coordinator.
It is a real bummer because I really liked Mike McDaniel.
I like him too, but it ain't working.
And I think he had a really successful first couple of years. And I think he will be a successful coach, but I think it's going to take him getting fired, rolling it back with maybe it's the 49ers. Maybe Shanahan brings him back. Maybe it's another team where he can be an offensive coordinator and he can kind of develop and not have all of the duties of being a head coach laid upon his feet. But I think he will be successful, but I don't think it's in Miami.
I think that's Casey Rick on the text line asking Tyreek to come back to Kansas City. I'm with you, man. Everybody come home. It's the jig's up, man. We tried it. It didn't work. Tyreek, you go back to Kansas City and help Patty.
Mike, you go back to San Francisco.
And let's run 2019 back and get our rematch back.
Tua, you get cut, and we run it all back with the Miami
Tua
Dolphins.
go to Philly and replace Jalen Hurts. I'm joking.
Hey, Tua might actually be a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was saying,
please,
we're definitely out of that.
Put your phones down. Put your phones down. I'm kidding.
It worked that one game in college, and it worked, I guess, a little bit for in college, but at the NFL level, no, sir.
Jalen Hurts a better quarterback at the NFL level. Who would have thought?
Way better. But yeah, you're right. Dolphins are in for a long season, all things considered. Because what do you got? 50 million invested in this guy?
You got a lot.
Or not 50 million, like 45, 46.
You got a lot of money invested in this guy.
Yeah, so good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck.
Number 3. Debo is a guy that, this is a quote. Sorry. John Bates in his postgame said, Debo is a guy that can do it all with the ball in his hands, whether quick handoffs, stuff over the middle, screens, deep stuff. He went out and showed what he could do. It was awesome to see.
Newsworthy. Because this even goes back to what Lake Lewis Jr. was saying when he was in studio back in hour number 1, right? Like, Debo adds such a unique look to this offense. Debo is a guy that can really make it where they're no longer kind of reliant on Terry. And Debo Samuel was used a lot on Sunday. He was targeted 10 times, had 7 catches for 77 yards, and he was a focal point of the passing attack. And maybe it's not necessarily newsworthy that John Bates said that. It's more so newsworthy, an excuse to talk about how good Debo was for the Commanders in week 1 and how he adds dynamism to this offense in general.
All right, got to bring it back. We got 2 guys that read the scouting report. Shout out to John Bates for telling us what we already know. That's great. Debo's a guy. He's a playmaker. When the ball's in his hands, he can do a lot of things. He's a Swiss Army knife or whatever other analogies that they give him. Yes, he's very good with the ball in his hands. And yes, he's operating in the space that Terry does not preoccupy. And guess what? It's really open because guess what? Terry's got 2 guys on him, one underneath, one over top. That leaves a lot of space to operate underneath. And credit to all of them. I mean, they did a great job of getting the ball to all their playmakers. But Debo was the pace setter. He was the one that helped move the chains. Or when they needed the 7 yards, he could get the 7 yards and set up for the third and short and things like that. Cliff Kingsbury, like I said, called the best game I've ever seen him call since he's been an offensive coordinator.
Really?
For the Commanders. Like from start to finish. If you go back and look at the plays that he called from the script to the very end, every single play had purpose. And I thought it was properly executed, and it was great buy-in by the players. They trusted in the play calls, and they executed it down the stretch. And honestly, if it wasn't for probably a little bit of the rust, like if this was a week 5 game, they definitely scored more than 20-something points, man. Like they were rolling.
Yeah.
So
they just got hurt by drops a little bit. 3 different drops, 1 from Debo, 1 from Zach Ertz, and 1 from Jalen Lane.
We'll see what they do against the Packers. I think there was some familiarity having played the Giants twice last year as well for Cliff and Jaden.
Yes.
They made an adjustment from the first time last year to the second game, and clearly they've got the number of the defense on that side. So we'll see what they do against the Packers.
Yeah. But Debo adds so much dynamism to this
thank
offense.
You, John Bates.
And John Bates is just giving out the scouting report, but it is true. It's different for Washington now to have a receiver like Debo back there, the Swiss Army knife, that can take some of the pressure off of Terry McLaurin, where they aren't just Terry. They've got Terry, they've got Debo, and oh, by the way, Bill Krosky-Merritt looked like he is going to develop into a dang good running back, which if you've been listening to Allen at all over the last 4 months, he's been screaming it from the rooftops.
the
And
best running back in the row.
he makes sure that you know that he's been saying it for quite some time.
I'm telling you, I'm going to crash out in the press corps next home game. I think it's versus the Raiders. But if
Raiders,
dude, if one more person goes, man, that guy's pretty good, I'm going to scream.
I can't wait.
How could you not know that?
I can't wait for listening to the press conference recording, and all of a sudden you just hear in the background.
Listen, Bill got on the podium before Jaden. That lets you know right there. He was the first person on the podium, not Jaden Daniels. That lets you know.
All right. Let's get a break in here. We'll step aside. Head coach Russ Huesman of Richmond football will be joining us. The Spiders are coming off of a win over Wofford. We'll chat with Coach about that and their upcoming matchup with the Tar Heels down in Chapel Bill, as some is calling it, Chapel Hill. No New England Patriots will be there. I can tell you that much. Not a single New England Patriots staffer. They've been banned. All right, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means.
Vrabel said North Carolina is more than welcome, and Bill's more than welcome to come up to Fox.
That whole thing's sloppy. We might talk about that to wrap up the show because that whole situation in Chapel Hill sloppy. All right, that's coming up on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Catch up on the latest horse racing news with Off to the Races live broadcast 10 to 11 every Saturday morning on 106.1 ESPN. Presented by The Racing Biz.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
At the Original Mattress Factory, you'll often hear us say we can't fit our quality in a box. Our customers feel the same way. Here's what an actual OMF customer had to say.
I recently purchased a bed-in-a-box mattress and returned it a month later. I replaced it with a bed from the Original Mattress Factory, and I am beyond thrilled. Don't bother with any of the online mattress brands. Go to OMF and you'll be in great hands. My only regret is not going there sooner.
Come see our quality firsthand at the Original Mattress Factory.
Allianz Amphitheater at Riverfront at ESPN welcome. Simple Plan with Bowling Pursuit, 303 at Lolo, Tuesday, August 26th. Tickets are on sale now. Gavin Adcock with Braxton Keat and Laney Gardner, Thursday, August 28th. Tickets are on sale now. Allison Krause and Union Station featuring Jerry Douglas, Friday, August 29th. Tickets on sale now. Tickets are available at livenation.com. Part of the Virginia Credit Union Concert Series. Click on ESPNRichmond.com for more Live Nation concert information.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at HermanAllenPlumbing.com.
Cooler fall temperatures are coming, and that means perfect weather for a round of golf at Queenfield Golf Club. Queenfield is a beautifully secluded 18-hole course just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville that offers a spacious driving range, practice greens and bunkers, and professionally maintained golf course. Take the afternoon off or schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve your spot online at QueenfieldGolf.com. Queenfield Golf Club, RVA's best kept secret.
This is Brennan Wells, the owner of Pro Weld Fabricators. We are a Richmond-based company. We are here for all of your welding projects.
Bradley Hicks here with Pro Weld Fabricators. We bring all the right tools to your doorstep. Emergency repair? No problem. We're available 24/7. For all commercial and residential needs, you need Pro Weld Fabricators. Learn more about Pro Weld Fabricators and check out some of our awesome projects at pro-weldfabricators.com.
Pro Weld Fabricators is your number one source for any of your commercial welding needs.
It's off to Chapel Bill this Saturday. Hi, this is Bob Black. Join Chris Anderson, Matt Smith, and me as Richmond football gets its shot at Coach Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Pre-game Saturday at 3, kickoff at 3:30 on the home of the Spiders, 106.1 ESPN.
Waiting for the break of day.
Welcome in 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Fitz the Bill rolling right along. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, Allen alongside, and we are joined now by Coach Russ Huesman from Richmond, coming off of a big win over the weekend against Wofford. Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out of your morning to chat with us.
Oh, good to be with you guys.
So, Coach, how does it feel? First win of the season, 14-10-1, a defensive slugfest that you guys came out on the right side of after a 90-minute weather delay. A lot of stuff in play in this game. How does it feel?
It feels really good. I mean, anytime you get a win, it's great. I mean, you got to appreciate it, no question about that. And you're right, it was a defensive slugfest. Our defense played really, really well. Held them to 0 for 11 on third downs, 0 for 2 on fourth downs. Really played an excellent game and kept us in that thing. And, we offensively, we struggled a little bit, but we had multiple injuries to key players. And it was a pretty gutty performance for our offense to go down there and score in the second half and then, convert and keep the ball at the end of the game and have the ability to take a knee. So we were very banged up offensively, but somehow they came through and got it done when we needed to. It was pretty gutty performance by our offense and just an excellent job by our defense.
For some of those injuries on the offensive side, do you expect to have them back going into the UNC game this next week?
Maybe 1 or 2 and probably not 2 or 3 of them. We'll see how the week progresses. There'll be 2 of them will be out for quite a while, I think, and then maybe a couple others, but we'll see how the week progresses.
Richmond football head coach Russ Huesman joining us this morning. Coach, we mentioned the defensive slugfest side of it. That side of the football was fantastic. 5 sacks, held Wofford to just 10 points. What was the key in your defensive game plan that gave you guys that much success, specifically in the trenches?
Well, really held them to 3 points because one was a pick 6. It was even better
Very
than
true.
what you just described there. Coming into that thing, we had talked to them at the hotel about our defensive front has to be dominant. Our defensive front has to harass the quarterback, has to get to him, has to sack the quarterback. And, we thought that was going to be the key to the game. The one thing that doesn't show up in the stat line too is late in the game, we actually, get a sack. We're getting a sack and the quarterback kind of fumbles it and they review it and said, it was an incomplete pass, which was pretty questionable. So, there was a lot of really good things defensively, but it had to start up front, no question.
Coach, there was that 90-minute weather delay to start the game. What were you saying to the guys in the locker room while going through that? How did you approach that as a coaching staff?
Well, we kind of talked about as a staff and with Scott Branks and our trainer to make sure we kind of anticipate some of these things would happen. But as we got, as we talked to their officials prior, they had originally said, let's push it back and start at 7:30. And, I said, no, let's take the 30 minutes each time and make a decision and then go out. And that's what we did. We went out, warmed up, was almost done for game time, and then had to come back in. And so when we told them at that point in time, they go ahead, take their shoulder pads off, just hang out. They were in there listening to music and snacking and those types of things. And then, so every 30 minutes, they would, every time the lightning would hit, they put it at 30 minutes. So we would give them an update, and then we're now going out at 7:05 or we're now going out at, 7:15, as it pushed it back. And then finally, we kind of knew we were going to get out there. And so we had talked to him. We had 15 minutes, to get re-warmed up. And so as coaches, we made the decision, all right, here's what we want to get done in those 15 minutes. And we went out there and got it done. And, we had talked prior that this was going to happen. I kind of knew, that the weather was going to be a factor. We told our guys, we prepped them that, hey, don't be surprised when this occurs. And, they responded really well. I think we had a lot of energy and played really hard.
Coach Russ Hugh's been joining us this morning, Richmond Spiders football head coach. Coach, during the coaches show last year with Bob and everything over there at Bar West, you mentioned how you needed some young guys to step up and have the young guys really take on some bigger roles here this season. Through 2 games, how would you kind of grade out the young guys, the young players' performance through these first 2 games?
Well, if you start on defense, really one young guy, redshirt freshman Lee Bruner at free safety, has done a tremendous job for us. Excellent player, playing like he's been playing for a while now, so really proud of him. Peyton Seelman at Mike linebacker has done a tremendous job in there and is really playing well. As a true sophomore, we played him last year, not a ton. Tay Burney, the transfer from Wake Forest, our outside linebacker, has really played 2 games excellent. At corner, C.J. Frazier didn't play a whole lot. He played some last year, but he's doing a nice job. Jordan Allen at safety. He's an older guy, but, limited snaps other than special teams leading into this year. Offensively, Isaiah Dawson has been doing a really nice job. Now, he got banged up in the game and was limited, but he's done a really nice job for us. The issue is we're playing some really young guys on the offensive line, and it's kind of showing up, whether it's, some mental errors or just, getting a little overwhelmed by the physicality. We had, I think at one time 3 redshirt freshmen in there on the offensive line, and that's, kind of hurt us a little bit. And we got to just continue to get those guys better. We lost Sean Clark, now we're playing, some redshirt freshmen in there at tight end. And they were okay, but, it's tough, especially on the offensive side of the ball when you sustain those kind of injuries, during the course of that game in the first half and still have the ability to move the ball, in some ways to, get a touchdown there. And obviously having Kyle Wickersham back there, quarterback, really helps a lot.
Yeah, you took the next question out of my mouth there with Wickersham. What did you see from him in that final drive or in that fourth quarter to really kind of be that leader and was the guy, the quarterback that the team could turn to lead you down to get the game-winning score?
Well, the game-winning score, obviously we ran him 2 times to get it in the end zone there. But that last drive where we had to hang on to the football, we stopped him defensively. We had to hang on. We had to get a first down. No question about that. And we made the decision we were going to run Kyle every time, which we did. And we got the first down, and they called a kind of a semi-bogus holding call that was pretty ridiculous, and that would have ended the game right there. And then we ran him 2 more times, and what a tremendous effort on the last one. It was 3rd and 9, and he just barreled people for about 13 yards to secure the win there. But, at that point in time, we knew we had to have the ball in his hands, and we had to have him running it.
And now looking ahead to this upcoming week, you got Bill Belichick on the other sideline. I mean, when this game was scheduled, that wasn't necessarily the expectation. What are your feelings on coaching down there against Bill Belichick and having an opportunity to play against an FBS opponent?
Well, we're playing North Carolina. Our guys are playing North Carolina. There's not a soul that's playing Bill Belichick. I'm not coaching against Bill Belichick. Everybody wants to make a big deal about that. It's about the players. Our players are playing North Carolina's players, and that's basically all that matters. it doesn't make it. It's not about me. It's not about Bill Belichick. It's not about that aspect of it. He's got a bunch of coaches that are really good coaches. He's got a bunch of analysts that are probably really good analysts. Our players are playing the game. His players are playing the game. Other than that, I think everything else is irrelevant.
I love it. I love the focus on the game itself. Always got to ask about the Bill Belichick of it all, because that has
you
become,
and about 1,000 other people.
And Coach, I'm going to be honest with you, probably 1,000 more between now and the time kickoff comes. It's the story of it all. It's the way of it's what's happening down there in Chapel, as Chapel Bill, some are calling it. Not me, of course. Coach, appreciate your time. Good luck this weekend down against the Tar Heels, and good luck for the remainder of the season. Look forward to catching up against you shortly.
I appreciate it. Thanks. See you guys.
There goes head coach Russ Huesman as he joined us this morning to chat about the upcoming game this weekend against North Carolina. Kickoff for that one is Saturday, 3:30 p.m. You can watch it on ACC Network. And, of course, you can listen to Bob Black and his team and everyone over there at Richmond right here on 106.1 ESPN. Kick 3:30 p.m. as Richmond goes down to Chapel Hill to take on North Carolina out of the ACC, looking to pick up a pretty big FBS win, looking to build off of their win at Spartanburg against Wofford. It was a 14-10 win in that one for Richmond, looking to find some momentum that they can carry over into their home opener on Saturday, September 20th against VMI. But they've got North Carolina this weekend, Saturday, 3:30 p.m. kick. Listen to all the action right here on 106.1 ESPN. All right, we're going to get a break in here. Step aside. Be back with more Fitz the Bill on this morning right here, 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Richmond Kickers soccer games in the fall is a RVA tradition. Just a few games left at City Stadium this season. Reserve your tickets online at richmondkickers.com.
It's bow time. Sure, you've had a sausage biscuit before, but have you had the smoked sausage biscuit from Bojangles? Well, now is your chance. Juicy, slow-cooked smoked sausage is grilled to perfection and served on a fluffy, made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. No one does breakfast like Bojangles, and this smoked sausage biscuit doesn't disappoint. Right now, you can get 2 for just $5. Start your day with this flavor-packed deal while it lasts. It's bow time.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best-kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
Are you suffering from a sports injury, chronic pain, or something that just plain hurts? Ortho Virginia can help get you on the road to recovery. As the state's largest provider of orthopedic care, Ortho Virginia's team of specialists offers surgical and non-surgical treatment options. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why at Ortho Virginia, stronger starts here.
Colonial Downs summer racing season is now through September 13th. Racing 4 days a week. Afternoon racing Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12:30 and Twilight Post every Friday at 4. Join us for Old Dominion Derby Day on Saturday, September 6th. Special post time at 12 noon. ColonialDowns.com.
More fiber and laxatives, eh?
Who are you?
I'm future you.
Future me?
Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. And Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Richmond, this is Joe Simpson. There's only one place in the 804 to stay up to date on all things Atlanta Braves, and that's 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill on this Tuesday, September 9th morning as we wrap things up, get you set for the rest of the day right here on the spot where Richmond talks sports. Man, Richmond goes down to UNC this weekend, playing Bill Belichick and Chapel Bill. I am so intrigued to see how it plays out because I am not sold still on UNC this season. I'm still not sold on Bill Belichick. And the way Richmond's defense has been playing to start the season, I'm not putting it now. Their offense needs to take a step forward, but I'm not putting anything past a little FCS upset, as the FCS has had a lot of success here to start off the 2025 season in their conference game, in their games against Power 4 conference teams.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of FCS teams take some FBS teams to the brink.
Just need the offense to get going.
Yeah, what was it? Idaho State started it off.
Yeah, Idaho State, I think, nearly beat Colorado State?
UNLV.
Yeah,
in week 0. So they started it off. So we've seen a couple. I'm never counting anybody out early in the season anyway. So many things can take place. And the one thing about the Tar Heels, they didn't tackle well, which is a flaw. Gives you a shot as well. And then, like you said, the defense played well. So if they can get some turnovers, who knows, man? You get a short field, ball bounces your way a couple times. Got to take advantage of it.
And this is Bill Belichick on why the Patriots won't be in attendance for this game. This is what Bill Belichick had to say about all of that.
Do you comment on that? Provide some sort of explanation on that?
Yeah, well, no, it's clear that I'm not welcome there around their facility, and so I'm welcome in ours.
I respect that so much on why the Patriots aren't going to be there, because I'm that level of petty as well.
No.
No, it is so stupid.
Yeah.
It is so Richmond players don't have to worry about getting scouted by the New England Patriots in this game.
Like that's the thing. They're not there for you.
Well, not even that. Yeah, they're not there for you, Bill. But like, it's also so selfish. Where this whole, I gotta calm myself down. I don't want to finish out the show on a massive rant on Bill Belichick. But your job as a college football coach, at its core, is to prepare these players
for the next
young men for the next level
or real life.
Yeah. Like you aren't the celebrity in the NFL. You're not preparing them for anything.
Yeah.
Your goal each and every week is to win football games. And Bill Belichick was a celebrity. He's one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time. Get that out of your head in college, because your job is to prepare them for the next level. And now you have taken away an opportunity from all of your UNC players because you're not allowing the New England Patriots to come into your facility and scout them. That is so selfish, so egotistical, and it just is this entire thing. He's submitted trademarks in the last couple of weeks with his girlfriend, fiance, whatever, Jordan Hudson, where they're trying to file the trademarks for trademarks already filed by the New England Patriots. Things like do your job. He has now filed a trademark for do your job Bill's version. What? Like, you are not the story anymore. It was cool when you were first hired. I thought he was going to kind of get back into like focusing fully on football, but he has made this entire circus show all about him. And and this is just the latest example of it. So I hope Richmond goes down, and I hope Richmond gives them a good win. Like I hope Richmond goes down there and welcomes Bill Belichick to college football and hands him an FCS loss. That would be a very hilarious way to start the start the Bill Belichick tenure down there in Chapel Hill.
Like I said, they've got the one good luck charm, man.
Jordan Hudson?
No, it's Bob Black. And everything he loves, he's beat Bill twice.
That's true. That is true. Man, oh man, that is true. Other news around college football here as we wrap up this Tuesday edition of Fitz the Bill. Sources are saying that Colorado will start their third-string quarterback, Ryan Staub, this weekend against Houston, as Julian Lewis and Caden Salter have not done enough to win the starting job. Pete Thamel is reporting that Colorado, Deion Sanders, is going to go with their third-string quarterback after he played well last week. This is coming on the heels of Caden Salter not having a great beginning of the 2025 season. Julian Lewis, the 5-star commit.
Yes.
I don't know if he's ready to play at the college level. So it's going to be the Ryan Staub show this weekend against Houston. Well, he did go 7 of 10, 157 through 2 tutties in their 31-7 win over the Delaware Blue Hens. And Pete Thamel wrote this story. This came out about 40 minutes ago. I love Pete Thamel. He's a great insider. He completely messed up Delaware's name. He called them the Mud Hens.
Oh, no.
And this has been up for 40 minutes.
Oh, poor Pete.
And no one has corrected it.
That's why it doesn't pay to be first all the time.
Honestly, he could have been first and just not brought in the whole second paragraph of his play last week. He could have just said, after playing well last week, Staub will get the start.
Yeah.
So Staub will get the start for Colorado this weekend as they look to pick up another win, building on their win over the Delaware Mud Hens, Blue Hens. I know it's the Blue Hens. All right, that'll do it for Fitz the Bill on this Tuesday, September 9th. Tomorrow, we've got Talk of the Town. You do not want to miss it. To begin hour number 2, we're going to head on down to Dinwiddie to talk about their start of the 2025 season, as their standout quarterback has been exceptional to start the season. Just 4 incomplete passes through the first 2 weeks of the 2025 season, and he is our Talk of the Town this week. So that's tomorrow at 9 a.m. Between now and then, it's the spot where Richmond talks sports. We've got Clinton and Friends coming up next. Then the Rich Eisen Show. Then we've got Border to Border with Matt Josephs. And the Mashup Hour with Bob and Black. And Bob Black with Bob and Matt. There we go. And then Bob Black takes you home with the Sports Huddle. Until then, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See ya.
This isn't fantasy football, it's real competition. Welcome to the NFL Survivor Tournament. You versus the field. $100 to enter, $100,000 in total prizes, $50K to the winner. Start each week with a $100K bankroll. Pick games, win returns. Top 80% survive. Bottom 20%, you're out. Bankroll resets weekly, no carryover. 20 weeks, $100K. Will you take home the cash? Sign up, lock in, and let's see if you've got the guts to survive.